Hey, welcome to the show. This is Good Ass Conversations. Today is December 21st, 2025, and I'm talking with Ruby. What's up, Ruby?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, dude. How you doing?
Life's beautiful.
Yeah, just move it up some.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you right now, but I can hear you.
It's funny looking someone in the eye and asking, can you hear me?
I don't have
on the phone.
Yeah. So we were talking before we started recording and stuff like that. And it's sort of like the concept of life is the medium. And I was like, I totally feel like that applies to you. Like, you were talking about how you just like to do shit for the plot and like side quests and...
Yeah, there's nothing like a good side quest. As much as I love the discipline of being a painter and painting every day, or being a drawer and drawing every day, or being a carpenter and working with wood every day, I love being a beginner and just accidentally falling into luck of being good at something and enjoying that while it lasts versus trying to become something out of a talent I have, I guess. I like enjoy the luck more than like the hobby sometimes. And that's kind of complicated to break down, actually. I love being a beginner at things because I get like a clear view of the mastery and like the level of intensity it takes to get places. And there's so much appreciation when you're a beginner. And I love living life in that appreciation phase versus when you're kind of getting closer to a medium level mastery of skill and you're faced with more pressure of like, how can I be better? How, like, it becomes like a mental obsession. Yeah. And with my personality, I have to be careful with mental obsessions because they can really pull me into dark places. And I think that's the beautiful thing about artists, is being in those dark places and then finding your way to like through that and overcome that. And then you like put that in something substantially, like, you know? Yeah,
like a higher level or like a better resting place, like light at the end of the tunnel.
It's like a symbol to other people going through that transition, that like you've been on that road before, like that's like a road marker, like. Yeah, and I feel like the hardest part about going through those kind of spaces is just like, how do I navigate this? I feel alone, you know, where's the support, or sometimes it's not even like, what information do I latch onto to like move through this? I've been in situations or like phases where it's like, I didn't even think to search out like information or like other people's knowledge. I didn't think, you know, other people had traveled those pathways before. But I think talking about like what you're saying, like generally it's made me feel better knowing that other people have like walked those pathways or like have tread that sort of common ground. Yeah. And it's really interesting because that feeling of life in specific, it's like in every walk of life. Yeah. So I don't feel like I need to be in one specific lane to understand that. And I go through it in my own way all the time. And it's less focused on a discipline. But yeah, like from being like a gymnast when I was younger.
You used to do gymnastics?
Yeah.
Dude, this is just like we were talking about in the car the other day. It's like, name some shit I wouldn't assume about you. It's like I would never assume that you did gymnastics.
Yeah, I was really good at gymnastics.
Tight.
I used to like be able to touch my feet to my head and like roll. Like just climb ropes and do crazy flips, and now I can't do that. And thinking about my life when I was super hyper flexible and super energetic all the time, it's like I like watching a movie in my brain, because I'm not that person now, and I don't even know how I was that person then, and it's really trippy, because you just become who you need to be whenever you put yourself in an environment to be that. And so what I enjoy about life is finding all the walks of life and all the people becoming what they are because they're in the place to become that. So yeah, I used to be a cook also, and like, you know, you gotta follow the formulas.
Yeah.
And there's something about cooking where there's a lot of grace when you're cooking. You can mess up and kind of add some extra things, add some extra water, or add some other seasonings to kind of bring the flavor back to where you want it to be. But in baking, there's no grace. Like, you have to get the measurements right the first time around. And once it's in the oven, like, it's really hard to undo anything you forgot to put in, and so.
You know, I was thinking about baking earlier because I feel like it's a similar conversation that comes up when I talk to people if they cook or bake. It's like some people love to cook but hate baking. Some people love baking but hate cooking. And to me, like, I do both. And I used to think that baking was very strict. Like you said, like you have to follow the formula. But then I also realized once you understand the foundation, there's leeway. And yeah, in cooking, like, there are things that you can do to like save it on its way to the trash, to like resurrect it from, oh, this is garbage. But that's not always the case. And I feel like prolonged failure in either category will let you know if you need to quit it or just like stay at it until you're good.
And it's part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
Like, you have to fail a lot of times in cooking to know how to do things right.
Yeah.
Because you don't do it again. I think
absolutely.
That's the beauty of it. And when I apply that to like life, I think the era of my life of cooking taught me the most and had made me the least perfectionistic person I could be, because I became obsessed with this idea of failure being so important to learning in the long run. I'm getting a little bit, okay, let me go back to where I was.
I'm right there with you. Like, if you want to keep going down this trail, like, I'm about it. Like,
okay,
it's pertinent.
Well, let's go back a second.
Cooking and failure.
Okay, so I was going somewhere with this.
You're like, let's backtrack. And then I was like, we can if you want.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's really nice sometimes when my mind goes quiet.
I feel you, but we're on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So.
Okay.
New topic.
So when did you get into working in the music scene?
Okay, so that was on accident. That came after cooking. That was during COVID. I was working at this like 5-star resort, and it closed down because COVID closed down every hotel. You know, anywhere where people would congregate in large places. So
I've always been curious, is cooking in a hotel like a different atmosphere than cooking in a standalone restaurant?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it like higher standards, or what's the vibe?
It's more wasteful.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. So my cooking journey started on the pier, like at the end of the water at Ruby's Diner.
Oh, cool.
I always wanted to work there because they had cute outfits.
Nice.
And that was my only motive for working there.
Yeah. That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. And I wanted money, like extra money. There on the water, the pier would sway sometimes, so you'd have to be really careful about being next to the air fryer. Or sorry, not air fryer. It's a regular fryer, deep fryer.
Yeah.
My brain.
You did.
Yeah. But it would sway when it was raining on the pier, so you would sometimes see I almost did it again, the fryer swish, and you would make everything when it was ordered, so you just always had to be ready for like a fast order to come in. And then you could say no to people pretty easy if you were out of something. The next place I worked at was a from scratch kitchen, and there was a lot more intention put into that, and this was also on land. Actually, it was a place called Land and Water, which is kind of coincidental. But there you had to like grow the seasonings in the garden, and
oh, cool.
It was all farm to table, so it was definitely a seasonal eating, meaning you could only get certain flavors at certain times of the year. The chef was always in the kitchen with you, like he was like the captain of the ship, you know, like we couldn't be on the ship without him. He had to lead every day. And that was beautiful, but there was also like a sushi master there who was different than the chef, and he kind of worked alone. But then going from that to a hotel, I was in a mindset of looking for abundance, and I found this hotel to work at, and they had like 8 refrigerators that you could walk into, and like 5 freezers. And so much food. I mean, you never could go hungry working in a kitchen like that. There was abundance of everything you could think of, but there was also waste at the end of every single night, because I think a really big problem with hotels is that they don't have people to donate their unused resources to. And it is just cheaper to throw it away than to find those people who will come and pick it up and redistribute it sometimes. So, I mean, they're getting rid of like really expensive salads on a nightly basis. I mean, probably like 10 to 20 boxes of salads and foods. And some of it, like the hotel I worked at, I have respect for the fact that...
Yeah, don't say the hotel's name.
Oh, no, I won't.
Thank you.
But they would relocate some of it to the staff at the end of the
That's cool.
shift, because we had like a staff lounge. So that was nice, but a lot of food went to waste every single day, and you had to go to sleep at night being okay with the fact that you see really good things go to waste all the time.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just in my limited experience working in a kitchen, you know, you see food go to waste all the time. But at the same time, it's like, I also understand running a business, and then, you know, that's not like an issue, but like a point of interest. And if the easiest way to handle that is to throw it away, then that's what you're going to do. it would be interesting if someone were to develop a business where they were buying the leftover waste, because that would be more incentive for it to go somewhere instead of just the landfill.
I have met people during that time period because I was also looking for that then.
Yeah.
And everything exists, but you have to like be incentivized to look for it. And so I
like
did
that.
meet a lady who would get in her van every single day and drive all around San Diego and pick food up.
Mm-hmm.
And she single-handedly made a food distribution network doing that, but she was only one person.
Yeah.
And she made an impact doing that, but imagine if there was more people doing that. There's supply for that. It's just, I think a lot of people don't understand that they can just do that. It's just free will.
Mm-hmm.
But that lady, you know, pays for gas and all that stuff. And I think she made a nonprofit out of it. And I don't remember what it's called anymore, but it gave me a little bit relief knowing that exists. Mm-hmm. But it did give me a lot of guilt knowing that I was part of that, like, overproducing and waste. There were things I wanted to do, but I was just really young. I was 19. And then the whole world shut down. So then it kind of took my focus off of that. I think if I had stayed in that industry, I would have found more outlets, but that never happened. And when the world reopened, I think I was in Vegas for like a graduation. The first graduation, luckily, when everything reopened. But my family forgot to... My family didn't know I was coming to town for some reason. Like there was some kind of communication error where no one knew I was in town, so they didn't include me in the reservations.
Oh, I see.
So, and this was a relief to me because I really don't like graduations. I want to celebrate people, but I don't.
The celebration. The ceremony is just like
long,
endless sea of caps and gowns, and I love cheering for people. But I feel like every graduation is pretty much the same to a degree.
I'm also a bit of a germaphobe, and just being in a sea of people.
I love being in a sea of people. That's my jam.
Yeah. I like. I'm indifferent to seas of people. I get a little claustrophobic, but besides that, like, so I was in town, and while I was there, a family friend offered a job to me and one of my other family members, but because they were going to the graduation and I wasn't, I could take the job. And it happened to be for a really big concert in Las Vegas in a very high up position. It was so random. It was just a gig. So it only was going to last for a week. And so I was able to go. And when you work in settings like that, it's good to talk to everybody because everybody comes in from all walks of life. They know different things, and they might be, you know, a janitor at this gig, but they might be in a very high role position at another gig because it's just a week of work and people do what they can and fit in where they fit in at these things. So, and it's also who you know. So I just made a bunch of friends in Vegas working.
Cool.
One of them happened to live in Corona out here. So
is Corona close?
No, it's like 2 hours away.
Yeah, like I was talking with someone yesterday and they're like, do you know where Temecula is? I was like, yeah, I know where that is. And he's like, oh, so you're close to Corona. I'm like, I have no idea where that is. Like, I don't see how that's close to me at all. Like,
they have a big country festival there.
Really? Do they do like bull riding and shit like that?
I don't really know.
I met this dude at a Hobby Lobby, and he looked way too Southern. And I was like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I ride bulls. And I'm like, oh, for real? I was like, where do you do that? He's like, Riverside. And I'm like, hell yeah. So I've been wanting to go to
Which Hobby Lobby was that?
It's the one in Tri-City area.
Wow. I love cowboys.
Cowboys are cool.
Yeah. I heard a quote today. Someone said, all my heroes are cowboys.
Not mine, but
it really stuck with me because they put in work.
Cowboys work.
Yeah.
Like real cowhands. Like the first time I found out that there were like black cowboys, it like blew my mind because I didn't know. I was grown. I was like 22 or something like that, 21. And I was working at the State Fair of Texas, and the Dallas SWAT was doing their sniper rifle training. So you just heard all these fucking gah, 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 like in the background. And this dude walked up with a saddle, this black dude, and I was like, man, you look like a cowboy. He's like, I am a cowboy. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about breaking horses and riding bulls and shit like that. I was like, working on farms. I was like, damn, like, I had no idea there were black cowboys. Like, this is cool.
Representation matters.
Well, yeah.
It goes a long way for me.
It does, but then it just opens my eyes whenever there's someone who you didn't realize does something, and then it's like, oh, all kinds of people do this thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like the state of life I'm constantly in, actually. Yeah. Because there is something similar. We all share similarities, just the same as we all have differences.
For sure.
There's a lot of things that we all as people can relate to in one way or another. Mm-hmm. But black cowboys are cool. I have met a couple of those, and they have horses, and I mean, they're hard workers. At the end of the day, being a cowboy, whatever you are,
being a real cowboy,
yeah. Like nurturing life, and
yeah, it's cool.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's so it's a talent, but
Well, I just think about like working on a farm. Like I feel like being a cowboy is adjacent to working on a farm, mm-hmm. even though a lot of the time I would say cowboy shit is like more like herding and taking care of animals or training animals or, maintaining property.
That's hard too.
Yeah. And it's just like, we don't live that life. And sometimes I'm like grateful, but if I needed to, I could get down.
I've lived a lot of lives.
Let's talk about it. Like,
I was almost a cowgirl one time.
You lived on like a ranch or some shit like that?
I didn't live there, but I definitely thought I was gonna marry someone that had a farm and had like a house in the mountains that their grandparents had made and built. And then they had like man-made lakes and I think every kind of animal.
Wow.
That you would expect to be on a farm, like turkeys and goats and sheep and chickens. And I thought it was like a petting zoo every time I hung out with this person. I was just so excited to go and like see the animals. And like that was a beautiful time for me to expand my views on life because I was mostly a suburbs person, a beach person.
Interesting.
I'd only ever really been in beach towns. I've been in the desert, and I had been in the suburbs. I had never really lived in the city at that point, and so seeing like farm mountain life was so different for me, and I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool. I could do this for a long time. But yeah, just as relationships do, they fizzle out, and it didn't end up being what I needed at that time. Like, if I had stopped there and just decided to settle down and become a wife or, you know, a farm hand to that partner, like, I wouldn't have gotten into the music scene. I wouldn't have gotten into, like, this space I am right now. Like, I wouldn't have gotten into, I wouldn't have had to continue to work harder towards learning more about life. I would have just stopped there and expanded on, you know, chicken feed and turkey feed and animal health and
taking care of land and stuff like that.
Taking care of the property, cleaning water.
It's all valuable shit.
Yeah. Maintaining property in like wildfire seasons. That can be scary. Like having all that is a huge responsibility, because if a fire starts, you have to protect all that. And that was a scary time. There was fires happening for a certain moment of time. And I remember learning what I can do in the moment, and it's so different because you have to be prepared. You can't learn in the moment when a fire strikes, you know. It's it's something you have to be prepared for. But so that ended, but it was around that time actually that I went to this graduation, met the person for Corona, and then that person met with me in San Diego like 2 or 3 weeks later, and they connected me with a company that did events in San Diego. And that company in San Diego linked me with other people who did events in LA, in the desert, in Vegas. I would be traveling everywhere with this like people that just like to travel to different events and work at different events. And there's something special about that camaraderie. It's almost like being in a circus, except you're not all in the same car going to the circus. Or I imagine the circus operated off of trains for some reason. Like, I don't know if everyone was on the same train.
Barnum and Bailey. I can't say the first one right.
Yes.
But the famous circus, they used to roll around in trains, I think.
All together, and then they pitch up the tent. So that's actually what my industry started from, was the fact that a circus would come to town and they would need an entourage of people in the town that they went to help them put this whole circus up really fast for 30 days or something like that. And then do their little circus tricks, and then they need help closing it all up and putting it back onto their little train and going to the next town. And they would, of course, travel with all the entertainers and the animals and the people who took care of the animals and stuff. But then they'd get to the next town, and sometimes the people from the last town would follow them to that next town to help them set it up again. And sometimes there was just people in that town that had nothing to do that day and would help out at the circus, you know. So that's kind of the idea of where my industry came from. It's very similar to being in the circus. And
interesting.
A lot of us would say, like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Like, we can't control everything that's going on. And there's a lot of humbling moments in the industry, because you want to run the show sometimes, but it's not your show. And that's just that. You can do a lot for it, but the show will go on with or without you a lot of times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's humbling?
It is humbling.
Did you say you wanted to like have it be your show? In the early stages, were you like wanting a certain sense of like self-importance or like acknowledgement? Or even control?
I think control comes up because, you're putting up this big steel platform.
Putting on the stage.
You're building the stage. There's 100 ways to build that stage. Like, everyone knows how to put the metal in place in a different order. There's one order that's right, that, you know, the factory tells you to put it in, but there's all these tricks that you can do to help you make it easier. And a lot of people get caught up in the tricks that they know.
Oh, the shortcuts?
The shortcuts.
Yeah.
And then they get frustrated when someone else doesn't understand or take those same shortcuts. So that can be something in the beginning that tells you a lot about yourself and other people, is how in control they need to be over building something collaboratively. Because it's all collaborative effort. But the end result, you'll get to one way or the other. Doesn't really matter who's right or who's wrong. It's about getting everything in place, and the feelings behind it are really silly, but it's a male-dominated industry, so it can be a little frustrating sometimes, because I'll pitch an idea like, oh, maybe we should do it like this, and then people will keep discussing different ways to do it, and maybe 5 suggestions later some guy will say my suggestion, and then they'll try it and it'll work, and it's like, okay, well, doesn't matter who suggested it, but I'm glad it took a while to get to like being done. But it can be a little frustrating sometimes, because it's like, okay, I have an idea, but sometimes people are less receptive to the idea of how to make things work. Other times they're in a mode where it's like, oh, let's try that. Like, it just depends. Every concert is different. There's like country, then you're working with country folk, you're working with rap folk. I remember there was this one specific concert where everyone had really big eyebrows. I don't know how to describe this, but the whole crew, it seemed like they only hired people with really big eyebrows.
I would think about that for like an Aphex Twin concert.
But I don't know. That was just a beautiful... Every musician, every entertainer, they come with the entourage of people that like kind of represent them. It's really beautiful.
Do you think like certain musicians attract certain kinds of people that
absolutely
work for them? Like, if you were to think about it a little bit more, or like talk about some of the nuance, what are some observations that you've made? Like, how do you think these people find each other? Like,
there's like one so I work with a lot of pop musicians, and a lot of country and a lot of electronic. And I've noticed a lot of the electronic community finds each other through festivals and networking, you know, there. But the one really different concert I went to, I recently had to work for like a Christian rock band. And they did things really differently. Like, they were like in a Bible study and prayer before they went on stage, and they were back. I have to be backstage, and so I'm seeing this happen, and I'm kind of trying to stay out of their way, but like, they're just so nice and like trying to talk to everybody.
Cool.
I don't know how these people find their communities, but I'd assume it's just over, you know, if you're into country, you're probably going to rodeos. If you're into electronic, you're probably going to raves. If you're into rap, you're probably going to like rap shows. And so the importance of these get-togethers and parties, I think partying really helps connect people, and I don't think drugs and alcohol have to be involved with partying. I think the main point of partying is to network and find people that you can understand on a spiritual level, I think that music is a spiritual language that
oh yeah,
everybody can kind of understand.
I would say it's one of the, I don't want to say like universal language. Yeah, I would say like universal. I think math is sort of one too, but music transcends math, even though they're interlinked, because animals understand music too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure animals could understand math as well, but we don't really know.
Did you know elephants communicate by thumping on the ground with their elephant feet?
I didn't know this.
And they create certain patterns of communication through their stomps.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's tight. So it's like verbal, nonverbal, and sonic.
Yes.
But they're I assume part of it is like feeling the stomps, and part of it is maybe hearing the stomps too. Like, that's tight.
Feeling for sure. Vibration is really interesting to get into because I have studied. When I went to college, I was really into abstract classes. Like,
what were you going to college for? Were you undecided?
I was undecided at the end. I thought I wanted to get into nutrition. So I studied medical anthropology and nutrition. And I remember doing a research on sound therapy.
Cool.
How there had been people who were blind that they had gone blind from their stress and their nerves being overworked. From grief, and they hired a pianist to come in and play like sad music every day and slowly become happier and happier. And over the course of like 3 months, this person regained their eyesight because the music aligned with their nerves and then like picked it up to like a happier.
That's cool, because
like
I feel like
relief.
The opposite happens a lot of the time in some popular music. Like,
Can make you sad.
Yeah, it like
amplifies
meets
anger.
people at certain places, or people will meet the music and then it'll take them down in certain instances. But
yeah, I think the effect of music is not as thought out sometimes. Like I think it can be used a little recklessly. It's a tool. Like, you can use it to make yourself feel better, but a lot of times people want to have their feelings validated.
Oh, for sure.
And like sit in those feelings a little longer. But that gets into like emotional sobriety. That is like a whole nother realm.
I've never heard that phrase before. Emotional sobriety.
Yeah, it's a big one. I've learned a lot about emotional sobriety, kind of just living with mental illness and like being surrounded by so many people who have anxiety or depression. You know, all of us are kind of talking about ways that we cope or handle. And I'm drawn to nutrition and music as sources to overcome mental illness, or just, you know, deal with it, because some of it is like lifelong. It's all about managing. So emotional sobriety just gets into, you know, if you are in chronic pain all the time, it's a lot harder to be happy. Like,
absolutely.
When you have an intense back pain or intense knee pain, like, it's not as easy for someone who's not dealing with chronic pain all the time.
Absolutely.
But you can definitely intentionally like choose to be happy, regardless of what you're dealing with in life. But, you know, you don't want to get to like a toxic positivity realm too much, but with emotional sobriety, there are some people who, for some reason, anger serves them, you know, and for some reason, being in self-pity, it serves them.
Oh, yeah.
and sometimes it stops serving them, and people don't realize that, and they get stuck because of different things. So it's a dense topic to get into. It's dense to unpack.
We can touch on it, you know. It's like we don't have to totally unpack anything.
Yeah,
nor do I think we need to.
Yeah, I don't think we need to, but it's a thing.
But I totally understand where you're coming from, because I feel like certain emotions are utilized by people for different things and, you know, used as strategies. But then as times change and as people change and, you know, get older, I think sometimes those same strategies aren't beneficial, especially depending on what you value and like what direction you're trying to move in. So like using self-deprecation as humor, you know, like it's funny, but then at the same time, like it stops being funny after a while. Using pity or like helplessness to rally support, you know, it's like, I understand that, I've done that, but then also it's like, is it sustainable? Same thing with anger. Like I am no stranger to using anger to like fuel me to move forward, but then I also realized at a certain point, like anger isn't necessarily the most sustaining emotion for me. And then also having to feel like I need to hide my anger because it's not safe to display my anger for fear of being institutionalized or ostracized. I think we talked about that one time. Like I had like a issue about being concerned about showing my anger because I was afraid someone was gonna want to put me in some sort of institution, be it like juvie or jail or what have you. But then when you told me your experience, I was like, oh, cool. Like I'm not the only person who's felt this. And it's like we were talking about at the beginning. It's like I could relate to you, and that was dope. I was like, oh, cool.
And then there's some people who weaponize their anger to gain some feeling of control.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not as brave to do that. But that's also a tactic. It's also an emotional thing. So, yeah, that's beautiful. And I think music, it is a medicine to me at the end of the day. My definition of medicine is ever growing, because there's so many different forms of medicine. You know, connection with people, music can be a medicine, drawing can be a medicine for people,
nutrition.
Yeah, I mean, exercise is a medicine to some people. Medicine is different for everyone though. And so I think maybe that's where my adventure in life comes from.
Okay, self-defining.
Is like learning what medicine is for everybody.
Well, what about for yourself? I thought that's where you're going with that.
Well, for me, I think I got to try a lot of different things to know what works best for me. Where I have been really good at drawing, there was points in my life where I had pretty severe insomnia between the ages of like 7 to I'd say 18. It was the worst. But every night when I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade, I had begged my parents to get me like melatonin or something so I could go to sleep, and they were like very anti medicine in that regard, as far as like pills or anything like that goes. So there was no convincing them, so I would stay up at night like wanting to sleep, but I would instead be drawing, and I would just look at a picture, like a Polaroid picture, and I would draw out every single detail because that's all I had to do. I got so into portrait drawing and extremely into like drawing books, step-by-step guides, and I think
that's cool.
that's what I love about artists, is I understand like the detail mind. But that was medicine for me then. And later in life, like now when I draw, it's more like a little doodle or a sketch. Mm-hmm. It's not really something I fall into as much now, like the drawing. But I do love to write now. I like to hear random quotes throughout the day and like write it down. I like to see people in silly outfits and draw it really quick. Like I saw a guy with a dog on his shoulder at Vaughn's the other day, the way a parrot would be on his shoulder. And I've seen people with cats do that, but I don't usually see dogs on shoulders, so that was funny to me. But yeah, medicine has also been music to me. But since working in the music industry, it's kind of been tainted a bit. And, you know, now I have an ear that rings sometimes and it kind of freaks me out. And I think I maybe overdid it on that medicine of music, being around it every single day. You know, to everything in moderation, I feel like. Yeah. So I have kind of exacerbated my music commitment to medicine, or whatever you would call it. And so now I have to find new forms. And so I'm going into nature more. I'm going into communities more where people are talking at lower levels and not yelling over music. And
it's not like a conversation per se. Like, that's like cooking in the kitchen. And
medicine is a meditation sometimes.
Okay.
Yoga sometimes, because you're really like hearing your body. That was another thing. I did yoga for like 2 years, and the mindfulness that I learned in that was a medicine. Like learning what mindfulness was, it changed my relationship with food, it changed my relationship with people. It changed my relationship to, I used to think it was fun to go and get hurt and run into mosh pits and like self-sabotage. It changed my mentality around that a little bit.
But there's definitely like a release in those things. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, it's like we were talking about earlier, some things are context sensitive. And while it may have worked for you in that time, it may not work for you in this time. Yeah.
I was extremely punk rock when I was a teenager. I thought it was so fun to get mystery bruises and like, it was like Christmas. I'd wake up the next day after going into a mosh pit and have little things on my legs and be like, oh, that one looks like a heart. Like that one looks like a skateboard. Like, I don't know. I was juvenile, so I don't know what I was thinking then, but I don't enjoy getting hurt on purpose now. I love like rock and roll communities, but there's more like a self-preservation mindset I've came into after living past 20. I think you know, when you're a kid, you don't really understand like that you're gonna live for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, definitely now I'm not interested in getting hurt on purpose or being in a place where I can feel pain to get a kick of adrenaline that will push me to, I don't know, take a leap of, I don't know. Yeah, I'll end it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about it, like already, I wrote down this one question. Because I feel like you're in a space of transformation. Like you've been doing like a lot of self-work. And like you're coming into like a new version of yourself. But at the same time, like throughout the course of knowing you, I feel like you're constantly reinventing yourself, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, because while the reinvention happens, there's still like the core Ruby this there. It's like, I think you're good at adapting to different environments, like you said, but there is still that core energy and essence that I think that you bring to the different versions. So what I wanted to say was like, or ask, is like, what's an old behavior that you've let go of recently? And this is like a 3-part question.
Okay.
So maybe they can all tie to each other. I don't know how you want to approach it. So what's an old behavior that you've let go of recently? What's a new behavior that you've adopted recently? And what's an old behavior that you want to bring back?
I have to write this down so I can remember.
Do your thing.
I think I really enjoy writing in a notebook just as a way to not lose my train of thought sometimes.
Dude, I do that all the time. That's literally how I like manage.
That's an old behavior for me.
Oh, really?
Yes. Huh. I have always carried notebooks around with me because I would see things or experience things that were abnormal. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and then I...
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that you lived in Arizona, but I didn't realize you grew up in Phoenix. We talked about it, but I forgot.
I was born in Phoenix. I left there on my 9th birthday, and I lived in San Diego ever since. I have moved around, but like San Diego's been base for me ever since. But compared to the desert, there's a lot more going on here. I understand what life is like when you're not living in California. When you're not living in California, the world is moving slower.
In some places, yeah.
Uh-huh. Unless if you're living in a city is kind of always, there's commotion. But there's a lot of commotion here in California. There's something to do every single day, and there's people in and out every single day, like on little missions. And so I have always carried a notebook because I will see some really interesting people come here in passing and tell me these stories that I wouldn't have known unless I went to where they were from. But they bring stories here. So I've always kept my notebook. And also I was a stoner when I was growing up. Because California, that was a thing. It was illegal everywhere else. But here it felt like it was always just a thing.
Yeah, and I noticed like, it still blows my mind like how the relationship to smoking and everything that goes with that is so different here compared to other places.
It just became legal like last week, I think, federally.
Like nationally or something like that?
They put it into Schedule 3.
Oh, so it's not...
Schedule 1 is it's illegal, it's not good for you, there's no medicinal benefits, and it can't really be researched. But Schedule 2 would have been sketchy because it would have made only doctors and pharmacists allowed to dish it out, which would have taken all the funding out of community. Like, you know, all these mom and pop growers that don't have doctor's degrees wouldn't have been able to sell it anymore or commodify it. So it's Schedule 3 now. Never thought we'd get to this point.
I did. There's too much money.
There's a lot of money to be made in it for sure.
I think shrooms are next, you know, like. Definitely. But at the same time, like the national industry of weed isn't where it will be, you know.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if I was like, I knew what I was seeing was real, but I did know that people wouldn't believe me most of the time because the experiences I had just being in beach towns and all that stuff, they were pretty absurd and silly at certain points. And so I would always write things down, but I had to let go of a lot of notebooks between the ages of 16 to like 20 because I was out and about and losing stuff.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of notebooks along the way, but that's an old habit. I haven't quite gotten rid of releasing that habit, but I think I got a little bit lost. I think I got a little bit off track here.
No, it's all good. Like,
what was the question again?
So the question is, it's like a 3-part question.
Okay.
So it's really 3 questions in one. It's like, what's an old behavior that you've recently let go of?
Okay.
What's a new behavior that you've recently adopted? And what's an old behavior that you'd like to bring back? So you talked about journaling being something that you're recently bringing back.
Yeah. That's the one that I'm bringing back for sure. An old behavior that I let go of. I was extremely independent and afraid of vulnerability. And I needed to be in control a lot because I felt like people were unsafe. But I trusted myself to make the healthiest decision I could for myself with the knowledge I had most of the time. And I realized that I don't know everything. So I've had to like relinquish that control back to like just the possibility that good things can happen that are out of my control.
I like that.
Yeah. And I've had to practice acceptance a lot to be okay with not being in control. Because a lot of things that I don't have acceptance for are things I want to change and I want control over. So
I totally understand.
It's kind of it's like a very fun puzzle for me. But I don't want to be hyper independent anymore. I don't want to be scared of vulnerability and letting other people know about my mistakes, or I don't want to be scared of I really don't want to live in fear or shame or guilt or project that.
Yeah.
I think there's points because of like habits around like cigarettes and tobacco. That's another thing. I stopped smoking this year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that was difficult. I didn't want to keep fiending for a vape. I didn't want to
I feel like vapes are like harder than cigarettes to kick. Like,
yeah,
there's something about, I've never vaped, but it just seems like there's something about having it. It's not like a phone, but it's like you just want to hang out and like drag on the vape. Like,
yeah. It's an oral fixation, in my opinion. I think it's a hard one to kick. I had grown up without vapes and, good old-fashioned cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm 21, 22, and vapes are a thing. And I watched this revolution happen in so many people around me, where if they didn't have a vape within like 2 feet of them, they were like flipping pillows and blankets, and they were like an aggressive person over this like small little electronic device. There's a lot of aggression and a lot of strange things that came out of people since that thing came out. So I just didn't want to incorporate that in my life anymore. Personally, that was just my choice, but I let go of cigarettes and tobacco and nicotine, also out of spite, because
out of spite?
There's a statistic that if the nicotine industry can get you to have a cigarette or nicotine before 18, you're more likely to be a lifelong smoker.
Yeah.
And I was one of those teenagers that tried it early. I was walking home from school and I found a pack of cigarettes on the ground that, like, I think a gardener or like a landscaper had left.
What brand of cigarettes was it?
It was Marlboro Golds.
Okay, yeah.
I think they had dropped it out of their pocket, or someone. It was on a street where it was clear no one was walking and smoking cigarettes on the street. Like, I think it was a worker on the road that dropped it. And that's how I got into it. I was curious and I tried it, and then I wasn't scared of trying it again and again and again. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to be that statistic. I just didn't like that statistic. I didn't like the idea that in order for me to enjoy life, I was going to have to pay an extra $10 a week for cigarettes, or, you know, an extra $20 for a vape every other week, you know? Mm-hmm. It just, I feel like money is a tool for better things than that.
I mean, it can be. I think it's for enjoyment, and, you know, if smoking makes some people's lives more richer, you know, all the power to them.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's like subjective, you know, like what's good for you, what's good for other people.
Yeah. The geese and the gander.
I like that.
I don't know. Yeah, like.
So, like, on the flip side, what would be something that totally adds value to your life? It's like, oh, it's worth the money. Like, this is luxury right here. Like, this is abundance right here. Like,
I love, like, lately I've been into vitamins. Okay. Yeah.
So literally, like, when you're taking vitamins, I'm like, this is top tier. Life is amazing.
It's just so amazing that we have, like, herbs, and we're not in a war with, like, the Boston Tea Party, or, like, we have all the convenience for all of these healthy herbs and spices that there were wars fought over in all of history. I just feel like anything that benefits me and my body, something like healthy to put into my body, it excites me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Whether it's water, tea, vitamins, like breath work.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just a good conversation. I enjoy health and wellness more than anything right now. There's nothing that gets me more excited than, like, finding someone who knows a new way to incorporate, like, health or wellness. Like, if they go for walks every day, like, I want to go on a walk with you. I want to.
Oh, cool.
I want to do that. Yeah, I think a new thing I've been, back to your question, what was the new part?
What's a new behavior that you've adopted recently that you're getting into?
A new behavior that I've adopted is actually the act of pausing.
Okay, yeah.
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 Where I just take a couple extra moments to, like, pause and just see if what the space really needs to be filled with. It's like a small little meditation for me. A pause, especially when you're upset. Learning how to pause when you're upset is really cool. Learning how to pause when you're overthinking is really hard, but it's cool. That's a new thing for me. Also, like, I'm learning video games right now.
Okay. What do you mean about learning video games?
I just got GTA 5 for the first time. I have a friend, you know, he's a game developer for Popular Game, and like he has put me onto 4 games now. I recently started getting into PlayStation 4 because I don't know enough about video games to get like the newest console. I can't justify getting it because I probably won't use it as much.
I think chasing the latest and greatest is like not across the board. You know, chasing the latest isn't necessarily the best entry point for people or what people need. And I think because things have become so expensive just in gaming, that a lot of people are revisiting the past.
Yes.
And I think that's really interesting.
Yes. It's a whole nother world you can go to without going anywhere.
Yeah.
A video game.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
You can create a safe space for yourself, or you can create a scary place for yourself if that's what you want. Or you can create a fun place. Like, it's a very interesting thing to me. So that is what I'm going to get into this week. Supposedly it's going to rain for the next week. So I'm excited to crack into these games and see what I can do. So that's a new thing I'm incorporating.
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, on the topic of letting go, a lot of things are hard to let go of. Like, you know, parts of your personality are hard to let go of, but like quitting tobacco was really hard. The only way through that is to get into something else.
Yeah.
So
I liked what you said earlier about like learning to decipher or to distinguish, like, what do I fill this space with? And I think part of getting older is having the ability to distinguish what the space is in the first place. Because I feel like a lot of the time it's undefined until like you start looking to develop that skill, or at least for me, you know.
nice.
Well, it's like you're talking about games, and I think it's interesting that you're going in sort of fresh to a degree.
Yeah, I never really played video games.
But you played like Game Boy games.
I played Donkey Kong.
Donkey
when I was a
Kong's
kid,
the
I
shit.
had that on Game Boy Advance. I played Animal Crossing.
Never played that.
Of course, Mario.
Yeah.
64, I think, with the castles. And you jump into the paintings. And then
It's beautiful.
there was a time where I got an Xbox and a Wii on Christmas. And the Xbox came with a dirt bike game. So I could be dirt biking, and I was obsessed with this game. I was obsessed with doing the motor hills because I didn't have a dirt bike. I didn't have a bike that I could do that with. And I didn't have friends that did that. So for me, it was like a whole new world. I loved being a dirt biker.
Oh, cool.
I was never really a dirt biker, but in my brain, I was a dirt biker.
Yeah, having the
lived
virtual
that
experience of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
And I didn't have to convince my family to take me dirt biking, so that was cool. Like, yeah. Actually, it was really random. I also had a quad. When I was a kid,
You had like a literal quad?
my parents randomly bought me a quad when I was like 6. And I remember like no one else in my family had stuff like that. I don't know why they decided to get me a quad, but I must have been on sale or something. A part of me still wants to be a dirt biker because of that Xbox game. Yeah.
I got a homie.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I'm down to get into this year, is motorcycling. For sure. I'm like super into driving right now.
Okay.
Not cars though. Like I want to drive like weird machines like
Interesting.
Forklifts.
Have you ever driven a forklift and stuff like that before?
Oh, yeah. Forklifts, scissor lifts, all that stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, I never had games like much.
Well, you just listed a bunch of stuff, so to me it just seems like you're going into like a different phase.
Yeah. I didn't have like role-playing games like like deep abstract theory, like Donkey Kong and Mario and that stuff. I mean, Animal Crossing was kind of scratching the surface for me. Mm-hmm. But to get into like a storyline, that's cool. That's cool to me. That's a new realm. I remember, playing Wii, like I was into driving the airplanes. I think I like driving. There's something untapped about driving.
I think controlling vehicles is cool, like in general in life. Mm-hmm. And I could never see myself being like a pilot, but like the ability to extend yourself and intuitively feel like a machine and like control it through different spaces or different operations is very like interesting to me, like just the consciousness or mindset behind it.
Yeah.
As like human creatures. Yeah.
In dreams, I got really into reading into dreams and dream symbolism for a certain era of my life. I still have dreams that come true. This is something I don't tell a lot of people.
Are you comfortable talking about it right now then?
Yeah, I guess.
Because we can pause it.
Yeah, it's up to you. But I have dreams that are maybe 5 seconds long. It's of me doing something random where I've never experienced that environment before, and then months later I'll see that thing play out. But it's only 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds the most. And I will never understand who I'm around or that I dreamt that until I get there. It's like deja vu, but I had a yoga teacher tell me it was precognition. Deja vu is something else. But the last time I had it, it was like in a Taco Bell. And I had never really sat in that Taco Bell specifically before. And that specific night, I went with a bunch of random strangers that I had met that night. And so, yeah, I had a dream about sitting in that Taco Bell having a specific conversation with all these strangers. And I just remember the thought I was having, and the conversation was different and the environment was different, and that was like the dream I had. So I've had that periodically in my life, and my mom has some like interesting dream patterns too that play out, but it got me really into unpacking dream symbolism and what that means. And if you're in a car in your dream and you're not the passenger, it has a note of not being in control. Like it's like a subconscious feeling of not being in control. Oh, for sure.
I noticed that. That's one thing that totally stands out to me when I have dreams like that. And it's like, the idea that I'm not steering my life. Or it's like, if I'm not behind the driver's side or the driver's wheel, what am I doing? And am I enjoying this ride that I'm on? And I ask myself those kind of questions.
Yeah. I love unpacking subconscious beliefs and that stuff. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on dreams, but what's your next question?
Well, I wanted to ask, like, because I've also in the past had like sort of premonition-esque dreams or like deja vu moments related to dreams. Do you feel like when you have those kinds of experiences, do you feel like your life is on rails, or like you're in some sort of predetermined path? Or do you think you're just tapping into like fourth dimensional thinking and you're seeing bits of what could be, not necessarily what has to be? Like, how do you feel about it?
I think that it could be changing paths sometimes, because if you play football every day, I think at some point you're gonna know that you're gonna end up on a bigger field. Like, you kind of know where your life's going. And I think sometimes with these dreams that I get, like a lot of the time I don't know where my life's going in those moments. Like, it's almost like going in a new way. Like I tapped into a new trajectory of events unfolding. That's my general gist of it when I experience it. Because a lot of the times I'm in environments I haven't been in before, and talking to people, I was going to say things or people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk to plants, I don't know. But
plants are alive.
It's usually people that I feel kind of freshly connected to. The other couple times I can remember, it happens to me a lot, but the times I specifically remember it happening the most were when I worked in a new kitchen, when I was a cook, because that was my first real taste of being behind the scenes, was being a cook in the back. And
I've never equated being a cook. It has always felt behind the scenes, but I've never stated it as behind the scenes, like making the show happen.
Yeah, I mean, the whole restaurant can't work without the connections in the back of the house. Yeah. I think being in concert settings and the work I do now is still behind the scenes. I feel like a ninja all the time. Like, no one knows, you know, the things I had to do for other people to enjoy moments with each other.
Do you enjoy like being behind the scenes, or do you like?
Oh, I love it.
You love it?
Yeah. I love it. Because there's a certain like beauty in knowing how things are orchestrated. But there's also a nice amount of how do I say, like, just the enjoyment people get, and they don't understand how much had to happen for these things to fall into place. But it's almost like a magic, like, you know, I don't even know how I got to the place to make this happen for other people, but I'm glad I could make things happen for other people. And I don't get, I hit the mic.
No, you're good.
I don't get pinned as the person who did it, you know? It's more like there's less responsibility, but also, it's hard to, like, I'm trying to express something, but it's kind of hard for me to find the words for it. It's nice to just make people happy without them coming to me and asking for more, or like I don't know, I just love creating safe spaces for people. And I think you can do that when you're a cook or when you work in concerts. You know, you try to, at least. Alcohol being involved can make things a little bit harder to control. But for the most part, I like to be a safe person, and so I feel like I can make spaces safer when I'm not like, or when I'm behind the scenes, I guess. I just feel like there's a certain realm to that.
So like you become more skilled at making space for others. Like, how do you feel personally, like, in that space? Like, how often do you feel safe?
I like to think I feel safe with myself a majority of the time, because for me specifically, I try to be a safe place for myself first, and then I get to experiment in the world with how to make it safe in new environments, like going to a campground and bringing like little inflatable pools to sit in, and like all your stuffed animals. Or I mean, I don't really rely on other people to make me feel safe, but I do think that came from a heightened independence at a young age. And so I just know how to take care of myself really well, to the point that I think it's nice to get paid to take care of other people, because that's kind of like a skill that was hard for me to develop. Like that came from a lot of hard places in life, you know, there was some really dark moments in my life where I had to be alone a lot, where like my parents were traveling all the time. I didn't really have siblings to take care of me, and I was alone a lot. I had everything as far as shelter and food goes, but I didn't have people around as often as I think a lot of people do when they're young. So I just had to learn to take care of myself as best that I could. And I didn't know everything, but I think I'm able to take care of myself in any environment now. So yeah, I don't know. Next question.
This is great. Like, props, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent skill to have. And as like it widens, you know, there's more nuance to what kind of spaces you can make and to what effect. One of the questions I've been asking the first 10 people that I like talk to is like, how do you make space for yourself to create like a creative environment for yourself? You know, because that's something I'm trying to figure out for myself.
For me, to make space for creativity, I have to make time to slow down, like, and not do things for other people, because this falls back into, if I'm always making safe spaces for other people, I have to at some point stop. You know, there's jobs every single day for me. I get to pick and choose when I want to work.
Oh, nice.
And that can be hard to stop sometimes. Like, you're on a momentum going, and you miss birthdays and parties, and because you lose track of time, it becomes really important in my industry to just know when to stop and take some days off. And so I will take time to do absolutely nothing. And in that nothingness, I will get ideas of things I could do, or things I could work towards. I think my favorite space to get creative in is a library.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I've always loved libraries. I like going to new libraries. I like to walk down a random aisle and just look for words that pop out at me.
Huh.
I actually did this with one of our friends the other day.
Tight.
We went to the Central Library in San Diego.
Did you go to the one downtown?
Yeah.
The one that's got the multiple stories and stuff like that?
Yes.
Dude,
and
that one is tight.
they have an amazing art workshop there.
They got an amazing art section. You know, just like there's a whole floor of art books.
Art books. They have an art gallery on the top floor.
I still haven't checked that out. That's dope.
They also have a art making room where they have like 3D printers. They have
In the Central?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Carlsbad?
No, I'm talking about San Diego,
Downtown?
baby. Like
Interesting.
downtown San Diego.
Because there's a 3D printer at Carlsbad too.
So libraries have so many resources.
Yeah, they do.
Like genuinely, I wish more people would take advantage and like go to libraries more frequently, because there's something for everybody at the library. Libraries are for the people.
I agree. Yeah.
They have wood engravers, laser engravers, sewing machines, screen printing machines. You can print on mugs. You can use like the computers to do 3D modeling and all types of equipment. They have a specific library in San Diego where you can use it for music studio and podcast recording.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's free space.
That's
and it's
tight.
free for public use.
Dude, music recording is amazing.
You can rent backpacking equipment. Not rent for money, like check out and use backpacking equipment. They give you a backpack. They give you everything you need to go hiking. They give you a parks pass, like a free parking pass for national parks.
No way.
You can check those out at the library.
Which library?
Any library. I'm
gonna investigate
our
that
first
one.
come, first serve.
Yeah, I'm sure those are gone.
No, because people don't take advantage of it. Like most of the time they're there. When I first moved to my apartment, I kind of had bad Wi-Fi, and so I went to the library and I checked out a little portable hotspot for 30 days.
Oh, crazy.
And I bring that portable hotspot with me everywhere. I had internet everywhere.
That's tight.
They have free passes to a bunch of local businesses. Like cinemas where local artists will make little animations and short movies. They have tickets for those all the time. Like,
oh, cool.
It's a really great place to be plugged in if you're a local and small business, or if you're looking for local things to do. Amazing. Like chef's kiss. I love the library so much.
I love the library too.
So me and our friend, we went to the art section and I picked out a book. It was a big art book. They're like not a normal size book. They're huge. She picked one out. I picked one out. Hers was about this Asian couple who had been together for years, and they just had a really cool style to them, and they had been photographed.
Oh, cool.
In love all over the place and in
That's
different
beautiful.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
I picked out a book about tree houses. Sorry, I just tapped this mic.
It's so good. It'll just sound like
I'm getting excited and like tapping my chest like freaking King Kong.
Yeah,
Like.
fuck yeah.
So I picked out a book about tree houses because for some reason when I was walking down the aisle, I remembered how much I loved tree houses as a kid. I've always wanted to have a tree house. I've always wanted to learn how to build one. And if I'm older, like I definitely want to be with someone that can help me build a tree house. Like,
or you can hire somebody. You get a professional. Have you seen the Airbnb tree houses that you can rent? And there's like, it's amazing.
I have inside that book, actually.
Yeah.
That book had tree houses all around the world.
So
the most magical and modern and high tech and also not high tech and simple. that thought actually did not occur to me that I could hire someone to build it, because I had always romanticized like building a treehouse with someone, but
it's poetic, it's beautiful, you know, but at the same time it's like
might be a high expectation I should let go of.
Well, I think one thing that I try to remind myself of is that there's multiple solutions to the thing that you want, and sometimes, you know, letting go control of the journey to the destination and just making it easy and fun to get to the destination. Like, I think there's a lot of fun in building things, but then also you were talking earlier about like the beginner's mindset, and it's like picking and choosing what you want to commit to follow through on.
Yeah.
And it's like the skills to make a treehouse. I know someone, and they told me this story probably before I left Texas, like how they got into learning how to build things is because they made a treehouse and it collapsed, and it was one of the first things that they made. And they thought about how horrible it would have been if the treehouse had fell on someone, or if someone had been in the treehouse when it failed. And it actually drove them to become good and efficient at building. So like their skills now versus then, they could make one now with the knowledge that they have, but it's like that fear drove them. And it's like, yeah, like I like the idea of like making a structure with like a significant other. I think that would be like a badass chick if she's already like truly committed to making a structure, because I feel like most people are going to tap out like in the first eighth of construction. But it's like that could be like a painful journey, you know. But then like let's say you made it and you're chilling in your structure, and it's like maybe you're toasting, having some like sparkling apple cider or some shit like that, and then it collapses, you know. It's like hopefully you both survive, you know. There's all kinds of shit.
On the topic of, you know, there's multiple ways to get something.
Yeah.
Me and my roommate were talking about that in regards to laundry.
Really?
Yeah.
Laundry is very direct for me, like.
So I think it's like idealized that you're supposed to do your own laundry and, you know, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I live in downtown now, mm-hmm. and there is like 5 laundromats within a mile of me. Yeah. Like I can walk to the closest one in under 2 minutes, mm-hmm. and drop it off and have someone else do my laundry.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I've never done that.
And I feel great about it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I feel like a little guilty that I don't want to do my own laundry. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get it done. I'm going to feel so much better once it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be me struggling to get it done. I will drop off that laundry and pay $25 for someone else mm-hmm. to wash and fold it for me, and feel so much better that it's just done. And that I have extra time to do other things, like, yeah. You know? That kind of is what I felt a little bit talking about the treehouse. Like, yeah, you know, maybe I don't have to struggle with someone in that regard.
Yeah. You can just enjoy it. Yeah. You know, you can struggle somewhere else.
We should definitely get a group to Airbnb a treehouse. I would love to share that experience. I've always wanted to stay in a yurt too.
I was talking to Marcos about a yurt, because we were talking about building properties, and I was like, you should get a yurt while you're building a property. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, it's like a very luxurious old school tent. I don't know about luxurious, there's different levels, but it's
like a yeet with the R. I don't know. Yurt is such a funny word.
Yeah.
If I didn't know what a yurt was and I heard someone say yurt,
like
I think it was like saying yup.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's
no
random.
I feel it.
Yeah, that would be fun. seen some UFO shaped structures. No, just Airbnbs out in the middle of nowhere. Like,
oh, there's so much cool stuff, dude. Like, I feel like I hope that's something that continues to be a business. But, you know, it's like the idea of having access to cabins and like staying in a cabin, or, you know, staying out in the middle of the desert. That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Without having to like own it, you know, just like rent out an experience of staying in a place for a specified amount of time.
Kind of the same feeling. It's like you don't have to buy it to experience the happiness of yeah. It's kind of in the same realm of feelings with the laundry and the treehouse for me, like what you're saying.
Well, it's like I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but it's like I've always done my own laundry, and I don't want other people to do my laundry. I've never asked for other people to do my laundry. And I know that's specific to me. That comes from whatever I grew up in.
Yeah. I've always done my own laundry.
Yeah.
Until I moved into the place where someone else.
Until you moved into the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do it most of the time. But
well, if I was big ballin', you know, and I was like making moves, you know, and I didn't have to drive.
When the paycheck's nice, I definitely.
If the paycheck was nice and I was very busy, I would totally pay. But also, like, doing laundry has also served as like a bit of downtime, like in times where I've been very busy. Like, the ritual of going to the laundromat is like, oh, that's the space where I can like read a book, or like I can feel not guilty about playing some video games, play some fucking Street Fighter. And
so there's like a sense of guilt and shame in not being productive.
There's that, and also like I think personally, like guilt and shame around gaming, because it's like immature, or all of the things applied to it for males, you know?
Right. And but that is only a perspective thing, because
absolutely,
we're sitting in a house right now of people who video game for a living.
Well, they make games.
They make games and design games because they were so obsessed with playing games.
Yeah.
That they just continued that into a skill set that they get paid for. And I don't think they feel guilt or shame around playing games. They're like proud of it now.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like you keep going down that road of shame and guilt until it turns into something you can accept and be proud of.
Yeah.
Because I think it's super impressive, someone who doesn't play games, to talk to people who have in any regard. Because it's not easy to access if you don't have it at all.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely weird how we all have these like random ideas of guilt and shame. That's a really big topic for me this year, is working through that.
That's cool.
Of not like, I was a workaholic, so I also believed if I wasn't being productive, like if I wasn't holding 2 jobs and absolutely tired and exhausted at the end of the day, I wasn't really doing much. But I found a way to practice acceptance through the fact that my body and my worth isn't dependent on my productivity.
That's cool.
And actually, I think a lot of rich people value doing nothing and just being able to. Absolutely. Like, it's a mindset.
It is a mindset. And being able to embody that energy, I think, is important into attracting that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
But then also it's like switching modes, you know, because it's like I feel like I've been in a process of cultivating different kinds of mindsets to get to living the life I would like to live.
What would you like to?
Well, it's like I'd love more freedom, and I'd love more financial abundance, and I would love to have not only multiple sources of incomes, but a main source of income, where my main source of income is where like I feel like I get to apply my creativity and provide service for people, where the work is, enjoyable and lucrative. Instead of feeling like I have to ride undercurrents until things get better, or play small until things get better, like hide who I am, or really wanting to improve environments, but either people being unwilling to communicate or grow, control. It's like control, or I think when you get into other people's orbits, they want you to play certain roles. And
you're trying to create your own. You don't want to play a role. You want to have like a
the space I'd like to occupy, or the roles I'd like to play, I would want to be more
like you choose which roles you play instead of what you have to settle for playing.
Yes, yeah. And also like realizing potential, because I feel like having a chip on your shoulder is a mindset, and going down the momentum of that mindset attracts similar sort of opportunities, and being able to position yourself so you can get into an opportunity where you can really flex your natural talents. That's something I'm very curious about exploring, because then it's like not necessarily going into drudgery. It's like, how can I grow and expand, and like how can I see what I'm capable of that I never really realized before.
Yeah. And sometimes that comes with being out of control, is like sometimes we have all these ideas and we forget that there might be another way that we don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it might even be easier than we expect to get from point A to point B. We just haven't conceptualized it ourselves. And that's why I think we need each other.
Absolutely.
And that's my favorite part about bouncing around through life, exploring how different people have made it, and exploring other people's failures, because I'm able to see, that point A and point B from like a safe perspective of not casting how I think things should be, and more of like an acceptance place. Like maybe there's a way to get these things without me having to stress so much about getting there.
Exactly. It's like going back to like control, and what I've learned is like, learning to release control in certain spaces, and then realizing when I need to take control in certain instances. Because I feel like previously wanting to exert so much control came from like a internal place of fear, not wanting to repeat patterns or experiences of the past and like new formats. But I think placing my attention consciously or unconsciously on those events would sometimes bring them back. Here I am again, like experiencing this. And I was trying to avoid this, but I'm here again. But like what I've learned through that is just like, like I trust myself more now. Like I'll make it through this. So then I don't have as much fear about those things anymore.
I think sometimes we also can be our own biggest critic, and our biggest obstacle in getting to these goals is the fact that we attach doing some kind of struggle as more honorable to getting to that point. Yeah. And sometimes you don't have to struggle to as much as you think you need to. And sometimes we force ourselves to struggle and stress more than we need to. Like, if you knew it was all gonna be okay, like, would you have stressed out so much? Like, I find myself asking me this question a lot. Like, if I could go back and tell the 19-year-old person I was that it was all gonna be okay, like, would I have...
Would the 19-year-old version of yourself trust the version of yourself that went back and told that? Would it trust?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the thing is I've accomplished everything I've wanted to accomplish. And I stress so hard about getting to these points at certain times. But I think life has a way of just working itself out sometimes, whether or not you're stressed.
I think if you believe that, it does.
Yeah. I think the stress definitely propelled me, but I mean, I truly do think that as long as you can envision a goal and speak it out into the universe, there's a very high chance that will come into existence. The more you talk about it with people, you will see how many people have a similar goal in mind and have strived towards that goal. And there is a way to get to that goal, and it's usually through a community effort of sharing like tips and tricks and shortcuts. There are shortcuts and there are long ways there, and you'll end up, the more you talk about your goal,
I think there are effective shortcuts. And also like, I think it depends on what you believe in, because
that too.
Like hearing what you're saying, like you believe that this can work.
Yes.
Like for someone who would go through the motions but didn't believe that that would work, I don't think it would be effective. Or if like you believe it's not going to work out, like despite your best efforts, like you think the destination is failure, so failure may result.
Faith is a very interesting discipline to cultivate, because I've had to learn to cultivate faith through gardening. Really? Yes.
I think that's, like, do you ever listen to Quantal's podcast?
Sorry, what?
You ever listen to Quantal's podcast?
No. I actually don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore.
I feel you. I check him out from time to time. First off, he's really good. I think he has great things to say. And I just like his involvement in the community. And I check it out more because he is someone who a lot of people I know. And I really appreciate his involvement in different communities. And, trying to step into the role of being like an OG, it's like, he wants to give people the game that he never got. And I like that when he learns something that he feels is valuable, he tries to share it. And I respect it.
Yeah.
But that was like an analogy that he provided in one of his episodes, you know, like faith and, you know, from seed to plant. And I think it's super interesting because, like, for me, growing up in the city, even though I was around people who cultivated nature, I myself had zero interest in growing plants and have never been particularly great at growing plants. I understand. I've stayed persistent.
Each plant has a different personality.
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe you're not good with the plants that you were working with, but you just hadn't found the plant that you could work well with.
Yeah, I discovered that. Yeah, like I've grown several plants to success or higher levels of growth previously. And I know what I had the gateway plants for me. Succulents.
Yep.
Rosemary. You know, like I turned my rosemary plant into a monster. You know, like,
for me, it was basil.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basil had a lot of personality, and if I didn't give it attention every day, it was showing. It would be noticeable if I didn't give it attention every day. At least the basil plants that I had. But for the part of faith that I would have touched on is that before I had the basil, or what I was going to touch on was in the community garden that I had a little plot of land on. I didn't really know if the seed that I sowed was going to grow or not.
Interesting.
Because it's kind of like you can put the seed in the soil, but there's things out of my control as far as seeds go and what's going on underneath the soil, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I have faith that me putting the seed in is going to cause a sprout. Like, it's that in between, like, of the seed and the sprout, that's like where the faith is. It's like the motion I'm doing might pay off.
Yeah.
The faith is that I know that seeds can grow into a plant, but that is like a little bit out of my control. Let me see, how do I say this? Like, you can nourish the soil, you can, you know, prep the seed, but there's this outer space where it's kind of a mystery of what's going to happen next. And that's the only time that you can really use that faith, is like, okay, I've done everything I can to get this result, and I'm just going to keep doing that and hope that, you know, my seeds sprout. And maybe like half of your seeds sprout.
Yeah.
And half of them don't.
Yeah.
It's video game hour, so
is that what that is?
People are gonna start yelling.
Is this whole community like that? Like this whole neighborhood?
No, just these two houses.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious actually hearing
I've
people play
never
games.
Done that solo. Like when I'm hanging with the homies
so
playing.
Your neighbors could hear.
No, I'm just not like vocal like that when I played games in the past. Like, yeah.
You gotta be really into that.
Yeah, I also think I'm just like too self-aware of like noise that I make when I'm like being solo. There's nobody in the house, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any more questions?
Dude, I can ask questions for forever. Like,
okay.
But are you feeling like it's a good time to wrap up? Are you like, how are you feeling?
I don't know if, well, how I'm feeling is good. I feel like I could take a break and get some water.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're back.
Hey.
So I just wanted to ask you like a few more questions and then wrap up. And then, we'll do another one in the future.
Of course.
So Annabelle likes to, she, poses this question, and I like to throw it in there when I can. What do you feel like would give you a sense of abundance?
At this point in my life?
Yeah.
I think abundance would be access to resources that I can help people with. Okay, wait, pause.
Pause the podcast?
Yeah, because I gotta think about this.
Hold on.
All
right, we're back.
Okay.
And the question is, what do you feel like would give your life a sense of abundance?
My life, a sense of abundance.
And also, you're welcome to not answer questions too. Like, sometimes you need time to think and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm in a place right now where I have pretty much everything I need.
Oh, that's cool.
I have my cozy little apartment. I have a little pet lizard.
Nice.
And I have a car, and I could buy any groceries I want. Like, for me, that is enough. And what I've learned in life when I have accessed abundance, such as working in ballrooms and kitchens with every ingredient, every food, and working around incredibly rich people, is that there's a price to pay for that abundance, and that is typically not just waste, but also like me having a lot kind of implies that somebody else has not. And
you don't feel like even if you don't have stuff that also someone may not have a lot? Do you feel guilty for like having stuff?
Yeah, so once I reach a place of abundance, I start to feel a sense of like survivor's guilt. In knowing that I have something that other people feel like they can't attain. When they can, they just haven't placed themselves in the environment to attain it, or they have restrictions getting there. I think abundance for me is hard because I don't really crave it anymore. I think I'm starting to really enjoy the simplicity of like things coming and going. I would love to have an abundance of rent money.
Yeah.
Honestly, just so I can always have a space for people to come to. But I think having an abundance of money doesn't mean an abundance of happiness.
Oh, no.
And I think my space can always change. And abundance is a tricky question for me, because I think when I was younger, what I wanted in abundance was an abundance of comfort, coming from food and money and environment. But now I really just want like friendship, like an abundance of support from people I love would be amazing.
That's dope.
You know, like, I'm not saying unconditional, because I think that's like I don't really know how much I believe in unconditional love, but like I do really want an abundance of well wishes from the people in my life. Mm-hmm. I really want to know that I can always have like hope that I don't know. Okay, to wrap this up, because it's a tricky question. Yeah. It's a loaded question. Also, I'm running off of like 3 cups of coffee, a bite of a Nutella donut.
What? Did you do the 3rd cup of coffee?
I did do the 3rd cup of coffee. Like 2 mini bananas and some peanuts.
Some candy.
Yeah, I think I'm running low on brain fuel. But
I feel you.
I will say I would love an abundance of support in my life because I have been hyper independent. So
I rock with that. Why don't we leave it at that? Like, it doesn't need to be expanded on anything like that. That's lit.
Yeah, I just love people. I want there to be love in not so complicated forms.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Pardon my allergies. I have to grunt into this a little bit.
All right, so I got 2 more. So, how'd you like to see some of the communities of San Diego evolve or heal?
I would like to see the community of San Diego incorporate more volunteer networks to avoid food waste. Mm-hmm. For sure, that really ruffles my jimmies, is the amount of food that we have. I mean, even at grocery stores. Why don't the people who work at grocery stores have the first advantage in taking home produce that is going to spoil?
I mean, like family meal, but for produce?
Yeah, like if you're going to get rid of the produce anyways and throw it away, why not allow the employees to take it home? That doesn't happen.
Maybe in like a
local mom and pop shop?
Yeah.
So I think supporting local businesses that do that.
Yeah.
Amazing. That would be awesome. And create that into a norm. Mm-hmm. Another thing is I work in events, and a lot of things, unfortunately, in ballrooms are like a one-time thing. And so they throw out carpet that's brand new after like 1 use.
Yeah.
They throw out, I've seen like couches and a lot of really nice furniture. I feel like could get donated, but doesn't. And
or like I was saying, like, someone develops a business where it's like they work out something with these institutions or businesses where it's like a business and they buy it on the cheap. Like I think sometimes creating financial incentive in certain spaces allows for certain programs to exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are unaware of just how much hotels in high tourist zones are capable of wasting without those financial incentives. And so I would love to see more of that being upcycled into communities to support smaller businesses. Yeah. Like, a small business might really make use of that carpet or the little cabinets that are just a decoration. So I've just seen so much waste within the realm of money and entertainment in ballrooms and even concerts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
There's opportunities in trash.
There is so many opportunities in the trash zones. I think it would be really cool if there was maybe less stigma around dumpster diving, and maybe also something where people could actively access trash zones in high tourist areas like hotels or stadiums or ballparks, etc. I brought home a trash bag of roses after a concert because they had built a archway, and it was just for one night, and then they were gonna throw away all these roses, brand new, beautiful condition. And I just couldn't imagine throwing away these roses, so I took them all to my friend, and we made like 15 to 20 flower bouquets. We had a girls' night out of it. But still, it's just, I would love to see waste management be more than just recycling, like out of the dumpsters and in neighborhoods. Yeah.
Cool. And then I got one more. So like it's sort of semi-redundant because I've asked this in like a different way, but what would you like to bring in or receive in this phase or era of your life right now?
In this phase I'm in from my life currently, put that in the podcast.
What, rechargeable batteries? You can buy rechargeable batteries and charge them.
Yes.
I use them for my Tascam.
And you've had these batteries for 8 years. They look like regular AA batteries.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just use them for my music gear stuff. So.
But you're saying
and
my
music gear stuff.
I could be recharging my remote controlled for my TVs.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get like a different setup, and you gotta invest money into like each type of battery, and you can only charge certain kinds. But like AAA, AA's for sure, yeah.
But that's sustainable to the environment.
To a degree, yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah, I just don't like throwing away batteries. So.
Me neither. It really hurts because I see a lot of that at concerts.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we're just gonna wrap up.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it and enjoyed it. Typically, like, I throw up people's IGs and stuff, but we're not doing that.
No, we're not, because I deactivated mine.
Oh yeah. So it's been Ruby. Thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Thanks for having me as a little fun side quest for me.
Is there anything else that you want to just like say to like cap it, or you good?
I mean, it's holiday season. I hope people know that peace is a choice.
Choose peace.
Choose peace.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.